Hey there, Monty.
I was
Howdy.
forced to play Little League when I was in middle school. I'll never forgive my parents for it.
Mm,
What
yeah.
position did you play?
I played the outfield.
Oh, nice.
That,
Not
The
really.
that,
the flower picker.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
that's where you put kids when in middle school and they can't do shit. You put them out in the outfield.
yeah. That's the default for the kids that don't give a shit about baseball, but also for the kids that really like baseball, but they're not too good at it.
It's actually really for the kids who the coach whose kid is on the team doesn't know, like, if you're not friends with that kid.
Oh,
Uh,
I fucking hate that coach.
Yeah.
yeah, we
I
had
have
one of
met that
those.
coach. I have played for that coach. That coach always sucks. Oh my God, the bad memories are just flooding back. I think I repressed those for so long. God damn it, Daniel.
Yeah, the next year they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna play baseball again." And I was like, "No, fuck you, I'm not doing that. You literally cannot make me."
I mean, I loved baseball, but I hated that fucking coach, man.
Uh, Also, I never understood, and nor did I enjoy wearing a cup for baseball.
Oh. Mm.
It was just a
I,
weird, awkward thing.
I never enjoyed it, but I understood it, especially after witnessing another player who didn't wear his
Yeah.
rupture a testicle when he missed a grounder.
Yeah,
Jesus, that would
so
hurt.
when you're out in the outfield, you don't have to worry about shit like that.
So once you see a kid go down because he's basically popped a ball, you're just like, yeah, I'm keeping my cup on.
Speaking of genitalia, Chris and I saw Alien Romulus on Saturday, and we gave the movie three little alien penis heads out of four little alien penis heads.
Oh, how come I didn't get the fourth alien penis head?
I mean, because I don't think any movie is gonna get full points. I could tell Chris didn't like it very much. I don't think because he's not he wasn't a fan of the original movies. Like he hasn't seen them,
Oh,
so
gotcha,
the
gotcha.
nostalgia didn't work on him. And I happen to know that he's not a fan of gross, horror kinds of things.
Oh,
I've
like.
heard I've I've
Mm.
I've heard this one leans heavily into nostalgia, and I've heard some criticisms leveled at it as it being like a remix of like four different Alien movies.
Well, if you're a remix of four different movies, I'm not sure that's a criticism at all. If you say you're a remix of one movie, then I can understand that. But it's like everything is a remix of four different movies if you're looking hard enough. Um,
More like trying to mash the concepts of four different Alien movies together, like not trying to introduce enough new stuff,
I don't know. I can't
like
imagine what.
their own ideas.
I don't know. And I will say the nostalgia criticisms aren't as really. It wasn't that big of a deal. Like there's one legacy character that shows up. Um, that's I guess there there are a couple of things that you see that are kind of that were in the other movies or whatever. And there is I will grant there is one line that they recycle, a very famous line from Alien or Aliens that they recycle, that a character says that doesn't make sense why he'd be saying it in the moment and is just kind of cringy. That was my only
Oh,
problem nostalgia wise.
is that like the fourth wall break one that I've been hearing about?
I don't know if I would call it breaking the fourth wall. It's just one of those. I mean, he might as well have looked at the screen and winked, I guess. But it was kind of like this line doesn't make sense here, and I don't know why this particular person would even be saying it. Um, and there are ways that they could have done it that that would have made the geeks excited, but not just heavy hand it to shit. It doesn't matter. On the whole, I thought it was really great. Actually, I thought it was a good movie. It's very pretty to look at. Like all the effects are really, really good. They did a lot of shit in camera, which is nice. Like the aliens are just dudes in suits, which is very reminiscent of the earlier movies. And there's a lot of there are a couple real gross fucking oh god, what the fuck was that? What just happened?
Yeah, doesn't that one woman have one pop out of her back or something? The one pilot chick?
No, that's not where it pops out.
Oh.
You're gonna have to see it. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it doesn't pop out of her back. No.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Anyway, this is the 6th episode of our 2nd season of Dungeons and Dragons. You might have just heard me talking about my brief thoughts on Alien Romulus, which was a part of our live show yesterday, which will be up on YouTube in the next couple of days. We have a new podcasting schedule because Chris is an adult and has a job, and so we had to find a different day to do it. And this will last until Lucasfilm decides to drop a Star Wars show on a Wednesday again, and then we'll come back to Wednesdays, I guess. So keep an eye out for that. And then I don't know, the Battlefront Star Wars gaming thing is so the stuff that was stopping me from streaming on certain days isn't happening anymore in the evenings. So if you keep an eye on the channel and everything, you'll know when we go live. And then in, I don't know, 2 weeks, a week from Tuesday, not even 2 weeks, I don't think, I will be live streaming Star Wars Outlaws. I think that starts on Tuesday. I'll be able to do it on Tuesday, so you should check that out as well. I think. Oh, no live show this week. No Jedi Enclave presents the Now This Is Podcasting podcast this week, or this coming Saturday. We will resume the week after with an episode of the podcast, and then we're bringing back Buzz recaps, where I think we're doing Game of Thrones season, the one where John comes back. What season is that?
Season 6, right?
Is it 6? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, so we'll be doing a Game of Thrones season 6, and Chris is very confused because we stopped doing the Buzz recaps because House of the Dragon started, and that's all we wanted to talk about, and we stopped at the season finale of season 5, and he does not understand how it is that Jon Snow died, but is in the end of the show because he's seen the last episode. So having to talk him through what a red witch is and how that entire thing worked is going to be an adventure that you'll probably want to check out. And we're going to get a little drunk while we do it too, which will be fun. I think that's it. If I'm forgetting anything, I'm very sorry. And Richard, why don't you take over now?
Alrighty. Well, welcome back again to Gungans and Dragons, Pirates of Drynax edition. Today we have our players coming forth again after securing their pirate vessel from the King of Drynax. Currently, they're having to deal with problems like, who are we going to get to fly the damn thing? And who exactly is the captain?
Didn't we decide that last week?
Yes, and you did decide that. Gani McCor is the captain. You were basically directed to a local drinking hole as a potential place to hire some crew, and you were given some of the rundown of how pirate vessels are supposed to be run. And
oh yeah, because our ship's like a broke-ass ship, right, that we have to fix?
It's not completely broken. With your some of your ship shares, you were able to fix a few things on it.
Oh, okay.
There are some broken bits. What you fixed?
I don't seem to remember the king disclosing the fact that he more or less gave us a lemon that we had to repair ourselves.
Oh no, he fully admitted that they found this ship drifting from back when they used to be like a proper empire.
Oh, I just thought he was giving us like one of his ships.
Well, no, this is one of his ships as well. This is technically better than anything they can make right now, since this was made at the height of their civilization.
Oh, okay.
So this isn't, I wouldn't call this a complete lemon. It's still quite valuable. But he made it quite clear that you guys are just being lent it.
Mm-hmm.
So right now you guys are kind of like left right in front of the ship. Let me double check here. So Gani McCord is now the captain.
Acting captain.
Captain for now.
And then the rest of you are crew members. So,
Crew members for now.
Who was the other person that wanted to be captain?
Slims.
So
Slims.
so are you the captain that never was?
I mean,
Yeah.
democracy failed Slims because it actually came down to a vote last time.
Yeah. Sorry, I was making a House of the Dragon joke that apparently no one got.
I mean, I got it. I just.
You didn't laugh though,
I
did you,
acknowledged.
you asshole?
But I acknowledged it.
Yeah. Continue.
All right. So, I believe in total you all have 6 ship shares to have healed the wounded ship, as it were. So let me just confirm with you all what you are having them fix over the next week before you guys fly out. You were going to fix the damaged turret for 1 share. Or, April, did you write yours down as well?
I didn't have any shares.
Okay, okay. So you had
I-
6 in total for your whole group, I believe.
Yeah, 4 of them were mine.
And then I think
How long are you gonna hold that over our heads, there, Captain?
No, that was out of character.
A majority of the shares are mine, just so you know.
And I think you were fixing the holographic hull for another share, so you can actually disguise your ship.
Yep.
I believe you were fixing the unreliable jump drive, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
because we
yep.
don't want to suffer a horrible accident and all die horribly as our outsides become our insides.
We didn't agree on that, but that was the eventual consensus.
Okay, and that was 2 shares. And then you had, I think there was some discussion of whether or not you should fix the unreliable maneuver drive
Yeah.
or the microfractures.
I mean, if anyone else wants to give their input.
So the maneuvering drive.
You're the
actually
captain,
was-
buddy.
Yeah. So you're also the most experienced the spacefarer here, right? Since you were in the Navy.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to treat it like a democracy.
Oh, well, I wonder how long that'll last. So
So basically,
the maneuvering thing is that like when we're not in hyperspace or whatever, like the
Yeah, so when you're in real space, this affects all of your piloting checks.
so it keeps us from
also-
crashing into things.
Yes. Also, as a very bad thing right now, if you roll a double 1 with the current maneuver drive, the ship loses all thrust for 1 round of combat, which is 6 minutes.
Oh, well, if we lose thrust, we can't run into anything, right?
You also can't maneuver out of the way of a missile.
Oh, wow.
So you can remove the problem entirely for the last 2 ship shares.
And what are the risks of the microfractures again?
It has weakened the hull.
What is the danger of the hull rupturing and all this being vented into space?
Depends on what you guys are doing and who you're facing.
So it's
And then
a non-zero chance, is what you're saying.
Yes. And then the only other thing that you can spend to fix are the ship's maintenance costs, because of its current state, it costs 10,000 credits a month to keep going, and each ship share reduces the increased cost by 2,000 credits, and you have 2 ship shares left, so you could decrease it by 4,000 credits a month.
So ship shares, are these things that we're gonna be making as currency as we go along?
No, these are only things that you generally get during character creation.
Fuck. Okay. So
I think
But you could spend money later on as long as you find the right shipyard. So basically, each of these ship shares would cost you guys 1,000,000 credits.
okay, so they're not necessarily problems that we are permanently stuck with after we decide where the ship shares go. The things that still need to be repaired, we can eventually repair.
Yes.
Okay, so the logic that I'm thinking is that if we get hit by something because of our microfractures, we get vented into space. There's a non-zero chance of us getting vented into space. So a good way to not get hit by something is to be able to propel through space. So I would say that we probably should fix the unreliable narrator drive.
okay.
I actually used that exact same excuse to buy my PlayStation 5 with my girlfriend, so I have to back it up.
I don't know how that possibly could have been the case, but I don't doubt your ability to do so.
Okay, so is everyone agreed for the unreliable maneuver drive?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay, so you're spending your last 2 shares.
Yeah.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Well, you transfer over those assets, and the Hawk Guard kind of nods and says that they're going to be working on fixing that for you all. It should be done within the week. Downey McCore, you feel a very familiar, like coldness
It's
in
a
the
presence
pit of
I've
your
not felt since.
in the pit of your stomach, and you start to feel a tremor that's starting in your pinky finger of your right hand.
Oh, okay.
And you realize that it has basically been about a month since you had your last anagaphic treatment.
Oh, you are jonesing, my friends.
Like, hang on, guys. Gotta do something real quick.
Why don't you go do
I immediately notice his sweats.
why don't you?
Actually, you can roll recon if you want to see if you notice what's happening with him. You have been around enough nobles within Drynax that you actually would know anagaphic withdrawal symptoms. So if you want to make that roll, you can.
You're giving me recon?
It could either be recon or medic.
I don't have either of those, so I'll run recon.
You have
Can I roll
jack of
before
all
I die?
trades, right?
I have medic.
Mhm.
You might be able to recognize it.
Can I roll to try to hide the symptoms?
You
A
could.
6.
Oh yeah, with a 6, you're not going to notice.
Wait, what do I roll to do the medic thing?
You would roll.
My medic is 1, I think, right?
Your medic. Let me look.
Yeah, it's 1.
It's 1. So it would be for you, because it will be based on your education, 2d6 plus 3. And if you want to make this harder on people for Gani Makor, let's see if you have any. Oh, you actually have a 0 for deception. I guess you can do an untrained deception check for Gani Makor. So it would normally be -3, but because your social is +3, it's just going to be 2d6.
Were you talking to me or him?
That's for Sean. So Sean,
Okay.
it just rolled a 2d6.
I rolled my 2d6 plus 3. I got a 10.
Okay, so unless he rolls really high, you'll.
I got a 6.
Okay. So, Sean, you try to kind of keep your hand against your side to kind of calm the tremor a bit. but since you kind of notice the movement there, um, Ukluna does notice this tremor, and with a 10, you do know that this is symptomatic of someone who is kind of needing a further anagathic treatment if they're on anagathics.
Okay. And I also pick up on the fact that he's trying to hide it?
With a 6, yeah, that wasn't a very good attempt to try. So you might notice he tried to put his hand against his side to try to hide what's happening.
Okay. I'm going to choose to keep that information to myself.
Okay.
I'll be like, hey guys, I'll be right back.
I'll give him a knowing look though.
But I'm gonna go behind like an alleyway and start some anagathics.
Do you have any?
I mean, didn't I buy some?
No, you haven't. You haven't bought any. I did message you this week and say that your character is going to need to.
Oh,
so he's gonna.
Right. Shit.
So he's gonna. Also, before you had your supplier back in the Imperium, but you're outside of Imperium space now, so you're actually going to have to find a new supplier.
Gotcha.
Or otherwise, your character will start to age rapidly.
I talked to the king.
The king is currently busy in a party/orgy.
He is balls deep in a cocaine pit.
But there is a bazaar here that you can go to. I actually did post an image, if you look on Roll20, of the floating palace, and it's also on Discord if you scroll up a bit. Before you guys all leave, the hot guard will kind of look over to you all and says, "Oh, for your ships," and he's pointing to Ganny McCore and Slems.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you pay up front for their docking costs or whatnot, or figure out what you're going to do with them, because if you just leave them here long term, they're bound to be impounded.
I'll be like, do you know a good place where I can sell them?
He looks at you and he says, "Well, he taps on his data pad for a second. Okay. You have 2 yachts. There are plenty of nobles here in Drynax who might be willing to buy a yacht. I also know the commander of the Star Forces is always looking for more ships to repurpose for the fleet.
Gotcha.
In fact, he was actually kind of pissed that the king started this plan and is giving away his Harrier.
Okay. I'll tell him I appreciate it.
So Slems, you would know immediately who he's talking about because Lord Rax is one of your rivals. He commands the Star Guard, which is the naval forces of Drynax.
Fuck. Well, I'm not going to him. Because he's a rival.
Speaking of slums, I want to take slums kind of like I kind of want to I want to talk to slums one-on-one if that's okay. So I'm gonna be like, hey slums, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Whoa, what's up?
Okay, I'm gonna kind of. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna motion over to you to come over to me.
I walk over.
Okay, I'm gonna say the slums. Hey, oh, did you want to say something, Daniel? Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna look at Andrew and say, let them keep their secrets.
Yeah, I gotta make. We gotta figure out what we want to do.
I think Andrew just fell into a body of water.
So you two, I'm guessing you walk underneath the Harrier, like underneath like one of the landing feet of the ship, and you find like a little corner.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'll say to slums, hey, look, I know you were kind of jonesing for the captain position. I'm sorry you didn't get it. If you want, I can take you under my wing, show you what I know, so that when we upgrade the fleet, I can make you can be captain of your own ship.
Oh, sure, and anything to bury the hatchet, my good man.
Slimes will remember this.
And I reach out and I put a hand out for a handshake.
Okay, I'll show
My
you.
good chap.
Yeah.
And then I snicker.
Yeah, I'll shake your hand.
But then I catch myself snickering and stop.
Do I notice the snicker?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he did
Yeah,
it out loud.
I don't.
Oh,
Yeah, he did it out loud. I don't think he's trying too hard.
I'm gonna play it off and be like, remembering a funny joke, huh?
Oh, absolutely, the funniest. Anyway,
Oh.
let's get back to the rest of the group, Captain.
Yeah, no, for sure.
El Capitan.
I think he's still smarting that Ganny McCore gets 5 shares of any loot versus his 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna divide up the loot too. I'm not just gonna keep all 5 for myself.
Oh well, I'm not gonna divide up my share.
I like how Ghani is just being like, I don't know, a decent person, and Slums hates it for some reason.
Oh well. If you listen to Slim's history, though, your character wouldn't know. He's a trash panda.
No, I know.
He's hiding a lot of deceit under that top hat.
Although, would Slems be like? I don't know. Just out of curiosity, Monty, would Slems think like Ghani has his own agenda with all this, or?
You know what, Sean? Slems would think whatever you think Slems should think.
Yeah, but he's your character, though.
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
All right. Well,
He's not going to show
as
you
this
his cards, Sean.
That's one of those things where like you have to have someone like that in your life for real to know exactly what that even means. Because there are people. I don't know what it was about what you just said, but it made perfect sense to me what you meant. I just know people like that.
Yeah, I guess I don't. Sorry.
That's a good thing.
So, Slems, what are you going to do with your ship?
I'm gonna bite the bullet and go to this guy to try to bury the hatchet and give him this ship.
You want to give who your ship?
My nemesis. I forgot the name. You mentioned him.
Ghani McClure?
No. You're not my nemesis. You're my captain.
Yitnam?
Yeah.
Your cousin? But
No,
you do realize...
The war guy.
The one that's looking for ships.
The Lord Rax, who's the commander of the Star Forces.
Yes, this guy.
Lord Rax.
And you want to... Okay, you can request an audience with him.
He was a dark lord of the Sith.
This is what I do. I request my audience with him.
It doesn't take very long for him to what do you say in the message requesting an audience?
Have recently come into possession of a ship, always looking to help out my fellow countrymen, possibly begin the road to make amends. Stop.
No complete sentences in that message you're sending?
No.
Yeah, okay.
It's all like telegraph.
I imagine it would be like on an app, like an audience app.
Actually, for most of the planets that you go to, they will have, depending upon their technology level, their own kind of localized version of the internet. So you would be able to send. So you're a local of Drynax, so he does know
Okay, then winky
that.
face, kissy face emoji.
Eggplant,
Hey, I got a ship. Eggplant. I got a ship for you.
peach emoji.
Oh, okay. So with all
TTYL.
those, with all those emojis, he knows it's definitely you. But about 5 minutes later, you do get a response saying that later tonight he will see you at his office,
In
not
his
at his
bedchambers.
residence, not at his residence. And then he repeats at the end of it, "Not at my residence," and he underlines it.
Okay, and then I respond, maybe after. See you there. Bye.
Okay.
So that one guy. So Monty, this isn't me trying to copy what your character is doing.